Hey guys, Ningen here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and you know we always do these when a new banner is about to drop, so I thought I would put this out now, just so we have the whole weekend, I guess, to, well, if you're in America it drops Sunday night, for me it's Monday morning, but we got the weekend to discuss. I'm interested to see what you guys think in the comments down below. So we are going to be talking about Beerus, or the physical Beerus banner, and should you summon or should you skip. Now, this is similar situation to the Ink Kid Goku that they did last year. I mentioned this in the Beerus announcement video previously, where this banner was supposed to come after the 5-year, and then just like Kid Goku last year for Global, they dropped it before the anniversary instead, kind of as like a last minute bait. Now, last year the Kid Goku, I feel like Kid Goku was an easy skip, even though he is a very solid unit. Like, his team's not great, no one really runs him as a leader. Honestly, the only reason I even dropped a couple of multis on that banner was because the Tech Gotenks EZA was going to come out, and the youth category was the category you needed to use, so I obviously wanted to pull Kid Goku. Fortunately, I got very lucky. Those of you who've been around the channel that long will remember I posted a very short summon video because I pulled him second multi and then just dipped from the banner. So Beerus is a much more interesting scenario because the Beerus banner is very, very good, and Beerus himself is very, very good. So obviously the two new units are Beerus and the STR Whis. Whis will get added into the general pool afterwards, so if you really want him but not so much the Beerus, or need copies of the Cooler, which is crazy because everyone should want a Rainbow Cooler because Cooler is insanely good. You don't need to worry too much about trying to get Whis from this banner because he'll get added to the general pool, which means when the 5-year rolls around, everyone going ham with all their stones they've been saving for so long, doing all the 3+1 multis and then free multis with tickets that Global gets. There's the very good possibility that you might pull a copy of this guy during all those summons in the 5-year, which is a big bonus because he's really good. So obviously JP did not have that opportunity when they pulled during the 5-year. This was the first banner that came afterwards. Now, Beerus is insanely good. We'll talk about him in more detail in a moment. Cooler is on the banner. This will be his first return on Global if he does stay on the banner, which I assume he will, because they want people to summon on this banner before the 5-year. So then you have to buy more stones for the anniversary. So Cooler being on the banner is huge. Obviously, for those of you who didn't pull him the first time around, this means you could buy him with red coins. I personally try and save all my red coins for Dokkan Fest LRs. But honestly, I'm going to do some summons on the Beerus banner, and if I don't pull a copy of Cooler, I might actually buy one. Because I have 1,000 red coins. I want a copy of Cell if I don't get him during my summons on the 5-year banners. But obviously, there's the potential that I could pull him, maybe even multiple times, and then I won't need those coins for extra copies of him. So I'm very tempted to get a copy of Cooler if I don't pull one. Namek Goku is incredibly good. Transforming Vegeta is really good, but he's been on a ton of banners. Kaioken Blue Goku is decent with his EZA, but not incredible. And then, of course, the Tech Beerus is kind of like the troll inclusion on the banner. Because, yes, after his EZA, the Tech Beerus is actually pretty good, but he has the same name, so you can't run them at the same time. So if you even if you end up pulling this guy, like, any copies of this guy you happen to pull during the process are completely useless other than as Kais, I guess. Because there still is no farmable Beerus in the game. So let's have a look at the Beerus. So Beerus is the Realm of Gods category leader. They also add, oh okay, so we finally got the global name. I didn't even know this. So as you know, Global renames categories all the time with like the slightly different translations. So instead of Explosion of Anger, the category is now called Exploding Rage. So there's a couple of like units on here who you think, yep, okay, cool, I get that. And then there's a whole bunch of units that are not on here. I don't want this to turn into a like dumping on categories video, but like physical full power Freezer is on there, but the LR full power Freezer isn't. So there's a whole lot of instances that are very strange, but I kind of see this as being a bit like the Goku and Vegeta leader skills, where Realm of Gods is already such a ridiculously good team that by having this added into his leader skill as well, it means you can throw on units like LR Gohan or Tech Broly or the AGL Easy A Broly, who is incredibly good. Like some of these units, you obviously can't run them on a Realm of Gods team normally, like even the Namek Goku who's on the banner. You could just put, you can technically, it means you can just slot him into a Realm of Gods team as long as you're using Beerus as the leader, and he's going to link well with all the other Saiyan Realm of Gods units. So I do think it's an interesting choice. I think it's weird that Fu is on here. I mean, look at his like card art. Doesn't he look super angry? But yeah, so it's an interesting one. Not the best category, but I think the combination of some of the units could be pretty cool. And then HP 130%, attack and defense 170%. It's probably the second best leader skill type. I mean, I know there's 170 across the board, I guess, but where two of the stats are 170 and one is 130, ideally what you want is HP and attack. Because I think it's been shown through testing that on like some of the harder modes, having that extra little bit of defense doesn't really save you from that much damage, whereas obviously having a whole bunch of extra HP, like if you have 50 to 60,000 extra HP, that can be the difference between surviving a super attack or not. So, but yeah, he infinitely stacks his attack, which of course means he's able to reach some ridiculous numbers, especially in longer events. He gives himself a buff after receiving hits, so he works really, really well in the first slot. That's the only time you'll ever get that passive. Like, if there's no attacks in the first slot before your turn, you literally can't activate this because it's only for the same turn. But once it does get activated, that's ridiculous. Then he changes key spheres to rainbow and attacks effective against all types when there's a Realm of Gods enemy. So obviously, goes without saying, this guy's insanely good in the Legendary Goku event. He has type advantage in the final stage, so he's not going to take a bunch of damage. And then even against STR UI Goku, his attacks are all going to have type advantage anyway, so he's going to be able to deal a ton of damage. And then of course he has an active skill from the 4th turn when HP is 70% or less. Gives himself a buff, kind of like the B-Pan. This is calculated separately, so it gives him a huge buff. Like, if you think everything that takes all of this stuff into account, like his super attack modifier, his passive, any support units on the rotation, that's what will give you the final attack stat that you see, which say on like a good turn for Beerus could be like 6 million. This attack and defense 50% is added on top of once all of that stuff is calculated. So that means he can hit like 9 million attack stats when using his active skill, which is absolutely insane. Like, he is the definition, I think, for Global, dropping it at this time. He is the definition of a bait banner. Because like I said, Kid Goku, yeah, he's good, but you don't really need him. Like, I think even now there's probably people that have what I would consider top tier level boxes who don't have Kid Goku and have never sweated for a second about the fact they don't have Kid Goku. Whereas this Beerus is insanely good. Like, bear in mind, apart from the Tech Easy A Beerus, there's not that many Beeruses in the game that are actually good. Because obviously the LR Beerus and Whis doesn't count because it has a different name, which means you can run them alongside this guy and they go together insanely well. So yeah, this guy is a fantastic unit, which almost makes it worth summoning on the banner alone. So that's something to take into account. This Whis is incredibly good as well. He has a 70% chance to dodge constantly. He buffs his defense every time he dodges. He also lowers attack and defense and seals. So this guy is literally a Super Battle Road god. And he gets even better when run alongside a Beerus. So even if you don't summon on this banner, if you do pull this guy during the frenzy of the 5-year, you can put this guy on rotation with the Tech Easy A Beerus and he'll be insanely good. So this Whis is fantastic. Like, I think, again, if you're tempted to drop maybe 1 or 2 multis on the banner, just the fact that not only Beerus is so good, but the possibility of getting this Whis is a good enough reason to summon, because he is very, very good. And of course the Whis is farmable from the Hero Extermination event as well. So then of course we have this man right here. So Cooler, this is his SSR version. Let's bring up the actual one here. So the reason why Cooler is always been a big sort of thing of hype about leading up to the 5-year is his banner came out and people were, you know, wanted to summon for him, but they wanted to save for the 5-year and it was tough to decide. Now he's coming back before the 5-year and you can buy him with coins. And the reason why he's so good is because he's a transformation boost leader, which includes both the LR fusions from the 5-year, like basically, whenever they bring out a new super top tier unit that has a transformation as part of their like active skill or passive, chances are they're going to be on transformation boost. So this guy potentially leads what can be seen as one of the best teams in the game, and then when you're only fighting one enemy, which is most of the game, he's a support unit for transformation boost. So you could run double cooler leads and just have him in the third slot as a support unit and never transform him, and then run a team that has like the LR fusions and some other crazy combination of units. So he's really, really good. And the fact that he's on Beerus' banner as well, like I said, if you're thinking about dropping 1 or 2 multis, you might not pull Beerus, but you might pull Cooler, and I would still see that as an absolute win. So he is very good and something to bear in mind as well. And then of course Namek Goku, I realise I clicked on these links from the actual banner, which is where they're all the SSR ones, but he is Super Saiyans or Namek Saga category lead. Namek Saga is not really anything to take into account, but Super Saiyans can be one of the best teams in the game as well. Has so many good units on it, and the Goku himself is incredibly good. His transform version is insane and infinitely stacks defense, and then of course he does have that rage mode that you can use as well. So there's a lot of reasons to summon on this banner. Good units, like these first 4 units are all very, very good, and you definitely want them. I can't remember if I rainbowed my Goku or if he's at 90%, but obviously he's not the unit I would be going for. Now, one thing to consider, of course, as well, that Global has been doing a lot recently is the Pilaf Trove tickets. I would guess that there will be one for this banner, just like there was for the Android 13, where it costs, I actually can't remember, is it like somewhere around $30, $35? And it gives you the 20 unit multi, which the last couple of times they've done it has been guaranteed featured unit. So you will get one of these units along the top row if you use that ticket pack. Now obviously you could get Tech Beerus, that would be very disappointing, but I bought the ticket for the Android 13 banner, and those of you who remember the video, I got the Goku Black Rift and pulled 2 copies of Android 13 in that 20 unit multi, which then means I did not waste a single stone on that banner. I just backed out and that was your boy done with 69% Android 13. So obviously I would quite like that to happen again this time. So if there is a Pilaf Trove ticket, I will definitely be getting it. But now we get on to the main part. I know a lot of people will be probably already putting in the comments easy skip. I'm pretty sure some people mentioned it in the video where I announced that he was officially confirmed for Global. But there is, of course, 2 big reasons not to summon on this banner. This is reason 1, and this is reason 2. So remember, when this banner comes out, it will be the 7th of June. Now, going by the last couple of years, obviously it does depend on the day, because they don't always drop it on the exact same date. There is always like a certain day that they like to drop banners. But the 7th of July is usually the anniversary. So we are, when this banner drops, we are 1 month away from the 5-year anniversary, which has banners like this. So this Bardock is obviously really good. The LR Gogeta, one of the best units in the game. LR Cell, underrated but really good. Broly and Gogeta are really good. LR Gogeta, the older one, is again maybe a little bit outdated now, but still incredibly good. Same with Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, although we're probably due a new version of him at some point. And then Vegeto's banner, I would argue Vegeto's banner is better, because as much as I love Broly and Blue Gogeta, I have like both of them maxed out already, whereas I really want extra copies of Trunks and Zamasu. LR Gohan, again, one of the top units in the game. LR Vegito, and then this Trunks and Mai is really good. Super Buu on here, he's not great. And then of course Vegito is still good as well. Vegito Blue, of course, recently becoming one of the best EZA units in the game. If you need extra copies of him, he's on the banner as well. So, obviously I don't want to make much of this video about the 5-year banners, but like, that's one of the big main reasons to not summon on this banner. We are 1 month away from the anniversary. So, whilst this banner is good, you know, that's only going to give you a few weeks. If you go in on this banner and you're not left with many stones afterwards, we've got one EZA coming up that we know of, the renewed story event, so those in total is only around 50 stones, then the logins and stuff from the next like 4 to 5 weeks. If you go in on this banner and you come away without many stones, you are not going to have a lot of stones going into these banners, especially if you're free to play. Now, during the anniversary, they do give out somewhere around 700 to 800 stones, but you know, we've all had bad luck before. On the in the 4-year anniversary, I put 2,000 stones into Super Saiyan 4 Goku's banner and didn't pull a single copy of him. So if you shell out a bunch of stones on Beerus and then you go into this anniversary with only like 600 stones, you might not pull one of the LR fusions. So that's something you do have to bear in mind. Now, obviously, if you're a whale, this kind of applies to any should you summon video, whether it's from me or anyone else. If you're a whale who always buys all the sales, buys all the Pilaf Trove, and then depending on how deep you want to go for a unit, buys full price stones as well, then obviously this video isn't for you. You're going to summon for Beerus if you want Beerus anyway. But for most people, especially if you're free to play, I would say you probably want to skip maybe one multi. And then again, if you do spend a little bit of money here and there, I would say get the Pilaf Trove ticket, summon with that, see what you get out of it, because you might be in the same situation as me with the Android 13 banner, where you then don't need to use any stones. So it's all down to personal preference. This banner is very good, has very good units on it. Cooler hasn't come back again on JP, I don't think, so we don't know when the next time he'll be back. But you do have the opportunity this time around to buy him with red coins, which again, depending on how many coins you have and what you're saving up for. Like if you have 400 red coins, but you don't have LR Gohan or LR Cell, I would not buy Cooler. Because when you do your summons on the 5-year, you should get the extra 100 red coins to put you up to 500. If you don't pull either of them from the banner, you can then buy a copy of them from the shop. And I feel like buying a copy of LR Gohan if you don't have him is probably more valuable than buying a copy of Cooler if you don't have him. So let me know what you guys think down below. What are your plans? Are you going to summon for Beerus? What are you going to do? How deep are you going to go? I know some people are super hyped for him. I really want to pull him because he is really good, but I don't want to go too deep because I do want to go crazy on the anniversary. So I do have a collab summon planned. And that will probably be my only summon video for the banner, so make sure you keep your eyes peeled for that one. So let me know what you guys think down below. I'm interested to hear the discussion, and yeah, who is hyped for Beerus. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Master Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. You can follow me on Twitch or join my Discord, the link is in the description below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.